I always said I was going to try traditional publishing, and recently I've been more confident about telling people I'm a writer, and then they're like, well, where can I read your stuff? What can I buy? I'm like, nothing. And I don't like that answer very much. I don't like that answer at all. So I'm now going to fix that, and I'm going to put something out there. So the announcement is that I am publishing a series of interconnected short stories, kind of like a novella in short, serialized on Substack. They're about Christmas, they're a family at Christmas time from the 80s to 2019, so over 40 years. Each story is standalone, but they can be read together for better impact. And it's going to be on Substack in November and December. Now, I could have actually self-published this by creating a book and putting it on Amazon, but a couple things. First of all, it's a novella. Second of all, I still don't know anything about actual self-publishing. And third of all, I get worried about the idea of having really, really low numbers self-publishing when I'm still trying to get an agent. Because I do not have the time to put in the marketing and everything needed to get high numbers. So they're going to be low, and I'm okay with that. Substack is such a fun platform. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend it, not just mine. And there's this one Substack I love. It's called Receipts from the Bookshop. And it's just about this bookstore owner who's there on Fridays, and she just writes what happens. People come in. It's not a very busy bookshop, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. But it's hilarious and amazing, and it always makes my Friday. So I will link that below. You can feel free to go read that once you finish this video because it's amazing. Anyways, yeah, so we're serializing on Substack. It's going to be 8 posts, and with every post on Substack for each story, I'm gonna have a little YouTube video talking about the craft of writing the story. Something of I haven't fully mapped it out yet, but something of this is how it went from first draft to final draft. Here are some Easter eggs. Yeah, maybe that's not so much about craft as indulging writerly things, but I'll try to do a couple craft things here and there. Like the first story, for example, I changed the first line a million times, so I'm gonna bring you through those different versions and talk about why I went with the one that I chose now. And this is really fun because if you have writing that's out there, you can talk about writing that's out there specifically. So, woo, it's gonna be awesome. So, how do you prep to serialize on Substack? I have no idea, but I'm trying to learn from others, and I'm gonna share a little bit of what I've learned. So first of all, for me, I am notoriously bad at scheduling content and producing it regularly. I do my best, but I'm bad at it, I will say that. So I have to have everything ready to go before the first one is published. My best run on Substack was this summer when I had 8 weeks of content planned in advance and scheduled, and after it ran out and I didn't have anything for a while. Again, something I need to improve on, which is why this is being planned out. So the stories need to be fully edited. I've edited 6 at this point, and I need to do 2 more. The interesting thing about editing these stories is that this is the first thing that I wrote as I'm gonna be serious about this now, writer 5 years ago. And I don't think the stories fully represent how good I am as a writer now, because I wrote them 5 years ago. Now I've edited them a lot, and they're not bad. And they're probably a lot better than they were 5 years ago. I'm editing them again now, but in terms of just the structure and, the depth, and I think the quality of the writing is fairly good, but even so, I feel like it's maybe not my best foot, but it's the foot that I have that's publishable, and I still love these stories. It's such a fun time. They're just Christmassy, and some of them are a little sad, so it's not all fluffy, but some of them are romance. It's just a fun time. Anyways, so the first step is editing, which I'm almost finished with. And then there is getting them ready to publish on Substack. So in order to publish something, you need a title, and you also need to title every post, each story. So I've done a little bit of digging because I don't know if it makes more sense to title things as like their own title, or to just say title of the novella, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, etc. Most people that I've seen, I've just done a little bit of digging. If they're standalone short stories, they have a title. If they're a series or a serialized, there seems to be a lot of number 1, number 2 happening. I think to get people to kind of remember the name of the book and to want to kind of come back and to kind of catch attention, which makes sense. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do, or title each story the title of the novella, number 1, and then maybe ... either the title of the story, which I'm using words in different languages, which I don't know if that is ridiculously silly or nice, so I can't figure that out yet. We'll see once I do it and see if anyone has any thoughts on it. Or the name of the viewpoint character. Because they're all interconnected, it might increase curiosity if you see the name of a character that you saw earlier and are like, oh, it's finally X's story. The other thing, of course, I need is a title, which I don't know if I have yet. So it's called Sing Me Noel at the moment. It was originally Ringing Noel. It was actually originally Christmas Harmony, and then Christmas Polyphony, and then Ringing Noel, and now Sing Me Noel. And I have no idea if any of these work, because it really doesn't capture the fact that there are so many like varied stories about a family. But that's the best I can get. I'm terrible at titles. If you have any suggestions, I would love them. I'm gonna maybe put some options in the description, or maybe I'll do a community post and just like a vote and see what people think. Because titling things is really hard. And titling things, especially when there's so many stories that are like they're all from a different character's viewpoint, and they all kind of have a different theme, is tricky. So Sing Me Noel, Tell Me Stories of Christmas is basically what the concept is. We'll see. I might change it, but I'm gonna have to commit to something because I'm planning for the first one of these stories to come out approximately November 18th. So the first one is about Thanksgiving, so that timing kind of works. Maybe November 25th. I have to decide on that. Obviously, I don't want to be too close to Christmas, but also there's 8, and so I have to figure out, or I don't want to be too far from Christmas, but also there's 8, so I have to pack them in to about a month or so. So if you aren't subscribed to my Substack and this sounds like something fun that you want to see, you can do that. I'll put the link below. Definitely check out receipts from the bookshop, even if you don't want to hear my stuff. If you're subscribed to my Substack and this sounds like the worst thing ever to get 8 emails from me with different stories, that is okay. There is a way to just turn off this section, and I'll put in a little video on how to do it. So if you're already subscribed, you don't like this, my next newsletter will have a little like, FYI, this is what's happening, and this is how you opt yourself out, if that sounds good to you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful fall day. See you next time.